the other person involved, which I believe to be my friend, but he's an obnoxious gossiper and a Jew.
Wait, I'm the gossiper?
No, 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 not you,
Oh,
not you.
sorry.
Haru. Uji Haru. It's a
Haru.
person that, yeah, it's a person who deserted.
Oh, okay.
Why? Okay, I have to explain this as well because otherwise you're missing context. 1 second. My cable is tangled up. I'm trying to untangle it. Okay. So here's the context, right? You hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
So before Ken became KB, right?
Yeah.
He already distrusted me. He's made it abundantly clear that the moment, like before he became my Hiderati, he already distrusted me. I think, he started to distrust me. Um, oh God, he started to distrust me like a long while ago during the whole Aka tyrant thing
Okay.
because I was like quote unquote not picking a side or some
Was
shit.
that when Akka
That's
basically
when
assumed
Aka
control?
that's when Akka self assumed control or self announced herself to be the Mura no Choro,
Right.
and basically didn't really show any receipts at all saying that okay, her claim is valid, and people were trying to push Onigo into making a clan for himself or his own clan,
Oh.
and back then I was like more so on Onigo's side because he was pretty cool with me. I thought, and Ken and oh, no, not Ken, him and someone else. They made it abundantly clear they were not my buddies. Like, you we're not that close to you. You're not my buddy.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I was pretty like pushed away because I felt like oh these people are my friends, you know. But
Oh.
clearly not. It was on like Onigo was on like his throne or some shit, and it seemed as if he was going to, but he didn't end up doing it. You know, so it might
Make
just
another clan.
yeah make another clan basically,
Yeah.
and have him lead effectively to just preserve the clan. You know, because yeah, even if they wouldn't really be leaving, but they would just be like continuing their control over it. You know.
Right.
Um, but that didn't really happen. And then there is Hikari, which said something about her made some appearances, but she basically did what I called a pulling a Honoka, which is basically you just look up if you look up pulling a Honoka. It's a meme that I started back when I was at Gangsuki, where she basically dipped without saying anything and left everyone to basically figure it out and be like, "Good luck,
Right.
you're on your own now, bye." And that's how that's a story how a Gakusei basically became a Busho, which is Rikudo. And
Wow.
that's how the chain of uh, basically it being tossed around uh, relatively randomly have begun, and that's where people will claim this is the time where samurai became so much more active and better, which to an extent is true, but in terms of role play, not really. Not
Oh,
really. We don't really do the mission thing anymore that we used to do.
gotcha.
Like where we would come together in the meeting room, we'd be like, okay, give me reports on this clan, and then
Yeah.
or investigate on this clan. I think I had a mission like that before, or um, a lot of diplomacy. It was a lot of diplomacy missions, or
Gathering
just
information.
yeah, and a lot of the missions were described to be basically to be a janitor duty. Basically, you're cleaning up some stuff, or you're doing a little errand, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the gist of how missions were explained. And now it's more of a, hey, let's make something up, or hey, let's not use that system at all. We're just doing things. We're just fighting,
Yeah.
and we're forgetting all the principles, and we're just sort of just fighters now. And oh wait, we're happen abusing now. Oh, and oh, where did we go? Like,
Upranking our friends. Yeah.
yeah, but uh, uh, like today. it's fine. I don't care about it enough that I'm like, oh, I'm really bothered by this, but I care enough that it's not like I notice that it's not supposed to be this way, and I know that I can't do anything about it. I can punish him at best, but that wouldn't really like fly well,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't be worth the effort. He wouldn't learn anything. He might return to inactivity, and I mean, it's
There's
not worth
also
the sacrifice.
yeah, there's also like a lack of evidence, wouldn't you say?
No, I have the evidence. I captured the evidence.
Oh,
I just
yep.
don't plan to do anything with it. It's just like a note to myself, like this happened, But
Yeah, fair enough.
I yeah, I feel like at least that part for myself was like necessary. Uh, just so I know that okay, this has happened, and
Yeah.
leave it at that basically, so I can look at it another time, and be like, okay, has it happened again, or is this just a one-time incident? Because if it's a one-time incident, then I don't really care. But if it keeps on happening, then I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
then I'm specifically talking about Hidenari. Then I would probably be like, hey, maybe you should rejoin, and he'd be like, no. So yeah, it's weird. Where do you draw the line? And they're like, how far can I go? And every time you draw the line, you're the bad guy.
Right. There's a lot of division in the clan
Very,
right now. Yeah.
but it's been that way before I joined as well. Um, One of my old buddies, which by the way, I don't really have any friends anymore in the clan, technically. And I keep saying this, and there are people that would be like, "Oh, but I'm your friend." But I don't know. This doesn't feel that way.
Sure.
It's an issue with that. But I joined for one friend of mine who was in a clan, and she was like, "Oh yeah." She was like bringing me there and letting me visit, which she was pretty cool. But she left herself, which is pretty sad.
Yeah.
Um, but she described it that the branches are basically clans of their own, and they were fighting among each other to compete. That's basically how it was described, which I
Oh.
think might be correct, but that the whole that concept might brew some conflict, and that's what I thought at the time. And
Yeah.
I'm usually when I say those things, I can respect my old self for saying those things because I'm maybe a bit smarter now, but I know that I was smart back then as well about like these self-fulfilling prophecies at least.
Right. Clan the family branches are like clans and they're competing amongst themselves.
Yeah, and people keep forgetting, and I know you said it correctly in front of me when I asked like about your family, which is Sourudipu. Yes, you're right, but that's not what I was asking. I felt like, oh, is there
True.
an issue with the ranch? But
I'm not
no,
in Yukita though. So,
you're in Kanseki. I know.
yeah, if I were in Yukita, maybe I would feel more bias. Like maybe I would
Yeah,
be rude to feel
I've
that
been
way.
asked to read Yukida by a member of Yukida before, and Sen's trying, and he's made the point before where it's like, oh, Yukida is not so great as it used to be anymore. We've got a really bad reputation, and we should fix ourselves. But he doesn't lead his own people, and
Yeah.
it's yeah, it's a very messy for him as well because he's trying his hardest to like retire and leave it to other people,
Oh, okay.
But all of his children are just fucking
Yeah,
around.
right.
Like
They're the
he
trolls
was
of the clan.
he was fucking planning to hand over the reins to Hidenari,
Oh,
and then Hidenari left. He was fucking depressed,
shit.
and he was like trying to give big ass rap hats to Hidenari to convince him to stay. But even
Yeah.
that he didn't accept. Like he didn't even scam Sen. So I think I have that much respect for Hidenari that he didn't scam Sen, but it really mattered a lot to him. To like because
Yeah.
it basically means he's gonna have to continue doing what he does, which is well be Sen, and
Yeah.
on purpose try to be mute to look cool and yeah, kind
Huh.
of hide away of his inability to do things.
I've
Like
never
his
heard of Sen wanting to retire. That's pretty interesting.
he's not. It's something that goes without saying. It's the way that he. If someone is really okay, let me put it like: if someone's really trying to make someone, if someone's trying to groom a hire an heir, right? That's usually a sign of someone ensuring contingency, or they're basically skipping ahead and doing the contingency, being like, okay, it's your turn now, and you should look for an heir.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how
Yeah.
I'm putting
No,
two and two together.
that makes sense. Because he's kind of been like distant, at least socially, sort of like
Oh, but
ghosting around.
that's because there's a lot of things happening like this right now. That's just what he does,
Yeah.
and that's kind of the Yakuda rules that he's following, and that's also a character that he's trying to play. He's
Yeah.
basically, as he's put it himself, he's trying to be like Aoi really hard, and he has been trying to be really hard to be Aoi, but he can't. So
Right.
that's yeah, that's why he's doing these things. I don't really want to be like labeling him a retard or anything like that, but yeah, he has those issues, but that's not why he acts like that. At least I hope not.